I realized that there's a lot of young people who are already presenting signs and symptoms of like anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, who want to advance into the music industry, an industry where it's actually not really built to sustain you. I'm Alicia Raye. I am an ex-artist, artist manager, and music tech founder. I'm from Drogheda, but I'm based in Belfast at the minute. So I started off as an artist, music, singer, writer, performer, and I pivoted about 3 years ago, I'd say now, into music management. Initially, I was thinking more, a generic, like in a general sense, and then I was like, actually, I'm gonna work with underrepresented demographic in music, which was women in music. So then I decided to have Eilís and make it a women-only music company. One thing I love about my roster, it's so diverse. I have Alicia Raye, I have Shmoney Doll, and I have Becky McNeese, all completely different women from different parts of the world who have their own unique stories. Mental health has been something that I personally have an ongoing, relationship with. Because I think when we talk about mental health, it's very broad. It's not always about poor mental health or good mental health. It's the overall relationship you have with your mental. So when I started mentoring and doing workshops, I realized that, especially in the schools, I realized that there's a lot of young people who are already presenting signs and symptoms of anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, who want to advance into the music industry, an industry where it's actually not really built to sustain you. And I guess that's how my obsession, is borderline an obsession, to be honest, at this point, with trying to understand how we can safeguard the individuals in the industry. So then that's how I started off founded my tech company, which is called HYMN, H-Y-M-N, which stands for Harmonizing Yield for music nurturing. And initially, before it became what it is now, which is a prototype and a technical solution, it was just an idea. And I figured out the best way for me to test out this theory is by having my own roster of artists and understand them in a deeper and more holistic way. So in my roster, my artists know, number one, that their mental health comes before any art that they do. Their well-being and their physical, emotional, personal needs are always the priority in my roster. That's the foundation of it. So I have a skin disease called hidradenitis suppurativa. It's called HS for short. It's reoccurring infection in sweat glands. People get them on your face, on your back, underneath their breasts, their buttocks, their groin, anywhere that has sweat glands and your skin is more prone to rubbing. Yeah, it's a very painful condition. It's excruciating pain, and it's an invisible illness to me because it's not something that you can see. I feel a lot of pain on a regular basis because I always have an active or ongoing infection going on internally that people can't see. I've never performed at a show without a flare. And when I talk about flares, it's like an ingrown hair times 100. They start off like a pea size, and then they can grow as big as a tennis ball, golf ball. I've had countless of operations to, remove these lesions and drain these lesions. And for a very, very long time, I felt isolated because I didn't know anybody who went through this, and I didn't understand why my body was making me go through this. And luckily, I've been able to receive some sort of medication. I have to have certain operations, like getting my armpits removed, for example, and having to deal with what that looks like because I've never thought about not having armpits in my life. I like to be optimistic. I think I'm a natural optimist, and at the moment, my hands are very much tied with number one, managing my girls and making sure that, they can create a sustainable career out of their passion. On a personal level, I guess just constantly keep, refining my idea of success and inner peace. I'm getting older, I'm not a teenager anymore. And I think it's I'm at a point where now I'm just at peace with life and I'm very content.